Hello everyone and welcome to the long-awaited build video. I am sorry that it has taken me so long to make this video. I've been doing some tinkering around. I'm in a new game +3. I've been just playing the game and enjoying it at the same time of trying to think of what would be the best way to implement new things into the build to give it more variety and more of a way to counter other builds and Moonville spam, Rivers of Blood spam, and stuff like that. Fair warning, before using this build, you will have pussy niggas talking to you like this. That is so fucking disgusting, you know. Have you tried using skill? Like, you hear that, right? You hear that little pussy bitch commenting about, have you tried using skill? Nigga, have you tried using something that's other than a roll? Have you tried using something other than Moonville, Rivers of Blood, or a fucking slow-ass hammer that will never hit somebody in PvP? So here are my stats to the right. As you can see, I am level 328. I have no life. I played this game for almost 30 hours. I have no idea. Too far in. Let's not talk about it. Anyways, first weapon, nagakiba. Second weapon, nagakiba. Third weapon, nagakiba. And then gravel stone seal. Reason I use gravel stone seal is because it boosts your lightning incantation and it'll give you a better buff basically, and my faith scales with an S, so it's really good. That's why I have 50 faith, because it scales so much. I used to have 60, but I've been trying out the arcane and the bleed because a lot of people have been using bleed weapons, and the bleed is absolutely disgusting right now because arcane's actually scaling. So I do have a blood nagakiba, and I have this one at keen. I'll explain why in a little bit, but you want to have, if you have nagakiba, you don't have to have this many if you want to use the build that I have going on, but if you want to use the entire build, you will need to have at least 2. And here are all the talismans that I have on. I have this on just for now because I haven't found anything better. I know I don't have the +2 version of this. I do have the +2 version of the erdtree's favor. I don't have the +2 version of this. I didn't even really know that it existed until a little while ago, but you can get the +2 version of these. Don't rush into getting the +2 versions. I'd recommend just getting the regular version or the +1, and you can mess around with the talismans. I know there's a Lord of Blood talisman that gives you more damage when you get blood loss, which I'm gonna implement into the build eventually, but right now I just want to get the +2 versions. That's why I've been doing my 3rd playthrough, so I can get them, because I have missed out on some of them. And I just got the where is it, the Cerulean Amber Medallion +2. You have to do the entire, basically the entire Ronnie quest to the where you get to the end of it, and you are able to get this after you kill a few monsters, and then you unlock the secret pathway. You will see where the stone sword key location is. I'll show you where it is on the map. So right here is a location of where you'll be able to go after you get teleported to this location. I think it's here first, and then you have to go up here for the Ronnie quest line. But if you take a little beeline to the right and you go here, you'll be able to get that talisman if you want to get that talisman. So I'll explain why I have Raptor of the Mist. You have to do the entire, not the entire Euro quest line. I think it's the second one where you have to be in the Lyrania of the lakes. I'll show you where you have to go for this. So after you come here, you'll be able to get this grace. I recommend picking up first. You want to run all the way back here. It's not too far, not too long of a jog. But once you get to the end of it, you'll see a red summon sign. I'll show you pretty much in the area that it'll be. I've already done it in this playthrough, so I won't be able to show you the summon sign and where it's going to exactly be, but it'll be somewhere in this area. You go into Yura's world, you help him kill an invader, and after you're done killing the invader, you can sit back into your world. You'll get Raptor of the Mist for your Ash of War. So the reason why I'm running 3 nagakibas is because of the range that they have and the discreetness of it. So as you notice, when you're playing PvP and someone switches to another weapon, you know that they don't have, or you probably know what Ash of War they have if they show it off or they like tell you what it is. This is more of a discreet way to have the double Ash of Wars. Of course, when you do this, the L2 ability to counter, you'll see what Ash of War they have on, and when you switch back, you know what I mean. It's not as discreet as you might think, but it is a pretty discreet weapon to have, at least, so you don't really have the idea. So say if you don't use Bloodhound Dash and you're chasing somebody, you switch to Raptor of the Mist when they attack you. You know, it's a quick and easy switch. Also, I'll show you what my buttons are because I play on PlayStation 5. It makes it easier to switch your weapons instead of having to press I'll show you. I'll just show you. So I have my switch right hand ornament to L3 because it's a little bit of a smoother transition than having to press on the D-pad. It's a little bit easier. You can do it while you're running, and you can look around pretty easy. It's something to do, I guess. It's just, I feel like it would make it easier for most people instead of having to press on the D-pad to switch your weapons, and it's more fluent. You know what I mean? You could switch it faster. Also, while moving and running, which you could do with the stick, of course, you'd be able to do with the D-pad. But I just find it easier to have it on L3. So for Incantations part of the build, you can't, the reason I don't have the first nagakiba as blood, the blood part of the Ash of War is, or the higher blood loss on the Ash of War is because you're not able to put an ornament incantation on that weapon. And I'll show you my damage numbers right now. For what I have 623 on my ornament 1, which is the keen version of the nagakiba, and the ornament 2 is 582, but it's the trade-off for the higher bleed. Of course, since I have 104 bleed, I'm still building up my arcane because I don't feel like it's high enough to get enough bleed, because I'm higher level and a lot of people have absurd amount of bleed. Anyways, Vykes Dragon Bolt. When you pop this and you have the gravel steel stone incantation, and you also have 50 dex, you'll have 811 attack. It'll give you basically a 200 flat bonus and also a defense bonus while using Vykes Dragon Bolt. And for the bleed, the blood flame blade that I have on is when I need bleed damage. I have it on just to have it on, basically. The lightning spear, I have it to catch people when they're drinking flask and we're in a PvP sesh and we're not drinking flask. Basically, like say if I took damage and I didn't drink a flask and I'm basically about to die, or I'm half HP, and then I finally do damage to the other person and they just drink a flask, then you can catch them, and then you could probably just use the Bloodhound Dash to back away and heal. Most people do use Bloodhound Dash nowadays, so it's kind of hard to get the Bloodhound Dash and heal, but it's just something to have. Fortissax Lightning Spear, I'm using it because I do have the Gravel Stone Seal, so I'm leaning towards the lightning damage part of the incantations because they do scale with the Gravel Stone Seal. Fortissax Lightning Spear obviously doesn't hit very often in PvP, but when you do catch someone using it, or with PvP, I recommend using Ancient Dragon's Lightning and charging it up. Say if someone's using a long casting Ash of War, or let's say sorcery, or even an incantation that takes a little bit to cast. It does take a little while to charge it all the way up, and it is widespread, but if you're close enough to somebody and you get a hit, it is a good solid hit. It won't one shot, but it pretty much will, especially with a charge. Even if you tap it and you get the hit, it still does a hefty amount of damage. Lansseax glaive, I do it because it's fucking cool. I grab a lightning sword out of the sky and I shoot out red lightning, bro. I feel like reverse flash, but with cooler abilities. It's fucking sick. Anyways, placidusax ruin, I have it because I have 8 memory stones and I really don't need anything else to put on for my incantations. And of course, when you pop it in the first animation, you get to push back. And I mean, the beam is obviously long casting and it does eat away your entire stamina bar, but it also is good to push back someone if they're being a little too aggressive and you want to get them away from you, and kind of just situations like that where you need a heal and you need a knockdown, or you want to get the final damage off. It's good to have, especially in a group invasion. If you're in invasion and you have multiple people around you and they're surrounding you, placidusax ruin is definitely good to pop because you can get them away from you basically, and you can still hit them with the beam after the fact. That's pretty much it to cover what I have on right now for my build. I'm going to add a little bit more. I'll probably have the Crimson Amber Medallion +2, and then I'll have the Virdian Amber Medallion +2 as well. And I'm going to switch this to the Lord of Bloods if I'm getting good bleeds, and pretty often bleeds in PvP. It'll definitely be good in PvE setting for this build. I do use this build in PvE and in PvP because it is a pretty strong build. You can wear whatever armor you want to. I don't have any armor that buffs any damage or changes anything currently on right now. Also, something that you could implement with this build is a bleed bow. If you have a bow that's pretty high level, you can use bleed arrows or whatever you would like to use. Bleed arrows would definitely be good with this build, so you can bleed proc pretty well because you have high arcane. If you want to use any blood weapon, if you don't like the Raptors of Mist part of the evasion, you could have a Rivers of Blood katana, any type of blood weapon, or you could have a dexterity scaling weapon like the Bolt of Grandsex. I was using the Bolt of Grandsex in a few clips. It is a very good weapon, to be honest with you. It doesn't hit all the time, but it does hit pretty often enough, especially when you're, say, in an evasion, you're targeting multiple people. You can hit it pretty often. Even in a duel session, you can hit it if someone's in a long casting animation. Again, it has its moments. Not everything is always 100% where you're going to always hit it. Nothing gives you that 100% you're always going to hit it, unless it's an exploit like Deathblight. Even Deathblight, you don't hit 100% all the time. But the new exploit with the magic, and you can one-shot with it, I've dealt with it. It's not fun. Or the madness. Oh yeah, madness skills. I forgot to mention that. Those one-shot abilities. That's why, so to explain why I'm using Bloodhound Dash or Bloodhound Quickstep, whatever, to explain why I'm using it is because I get spammed constantly. I'm in later game PvP. I fight people who are level 400, level 375, level 450. I fight really high level people, so their damage numbers are a lot higher than mine most of the time. So I need to have some way to get out. When I need to get out or implement it in a fight, it's more fun, it's quicker, it's faster than rolling around. I do implement backsteps into my combat sense. You can backstep heavy, you can backstep dual. It gives you a little thrust pretty quickly. You know, that backstep is pretty pretty good, especially with the dual nakakibas in the range. Bloodhound Step, you can do that, but it's in a combat sense that you'll be able to do that. But I'd rather backstep and do it like this. It's pretty quick, it's easy, and a way to counter Bloodhound Step. Another way to counter is Raptor of the Mist. Someone comes in and attacks you, say to do a jump attack, you do Raptor of the Mist, and they're stuck in animation. Maybe not, you might not hit it fast enough, but it has its moments. Everything in the game has its moments. But basically, that's to wrap up the build. I'll have everything linked in the description and where to find things, where you need to know, whatever you need to know. Basically, if you want to know how to get the drip, I'll put a video on how to get it. The skull mask is pretty self-given. I'll also put that in the description as well. How to get nagakibas, how to get multiple nagakibas. If you want to get a second one and you're in the first playthrough, you can ask a friend or go to a Discord and ask if anyone has an extra that they won't use, or you could do a second playthrough and you can get the second nagakiba, or you can use Uchi Katana. That would work well with it as well. You could have it in your left hand ornament, but I recommend having it in your right hand because your left hand hits first when you're doing the left hand combo. It does the left weapon first, so you want to have that range on your left hit. It'll be a little bit better for you. Also, I have seppuku on my left hand weapon. I run seppuku just because it gives you the extra blood loss proc, so I can check what my bleed is now. It changes not at all, but it does give me an extra blood loss. Of course, it gives you bleed buildup because it is seppuku. Seppuku is very valuable, and if someone's getting you annoyed in PvP, I recommend using seppuku. I don't recommend using it at the beginning of the fight unless you're trying to just one-shot someone basically, and you can use a Lord of Bloods Talisman to boost your damage, so if you get them stun locked in a combo after the blood loss, you'll have more damage and they'll most likely die pretty quickly. So I'll have it linked in the description on how to get the Lord Blood's Talisman, because I'm looking to use that on this build and I feel like it would be very effective. Also, how to get all the talismans. I'll put the +2, the regular version, so I'll have all the versions linked in the description. And I hope you enjoy the video. I'll be putting more build videos out if I do upgrade my build or make it different. I'll make sure to put out a new video. It might take me some time, but if I find anything new that I would like to do, or if anybody recommends something to me, I will make a build video. I'm planning on doing more things and more videos with me talking into them so I can explain how I play PvP and why I play it the way I do. And seeing a lot of hate comments about Bloodhound Step. You're a nerd. Get good at the game, you nerd. That's just something to tell them, you know what I mean? They're pussies, annoying, ignorant assholes. It's just how it is. They have to live with themselves because they suck at the fucking game, and they use rivers of blood because there's no other weapon they're good with. And they have to live with that. That they get shit on by me. By me. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, comment down below if you have any other ideas you want me to do, and make sure to hit that make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.